We got some breaking news that I think it should have happened weeks ago, but finally today, the date was announced on July the 3rd by Cameron Winklevoss from Gemini to Barry Silvet from Digital Assets Group. And today, July the 7th, they are now being sued. A lawsuit that it affects 230,000 plus people like myself in the Gemini Earn Group, $630 million immediate that it's collectively, right? But when you add more fees and more damage, it's in the billions of dollars. What I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what Cameron just tweeted minutes ago. Saw it because it affects me and a lot more people. I think it's really important to analyze because last year 2022, this year 2023, it's been really rough for a lot of people. Millions lost. We're waiting on some companies to pass the bankruptcy file to go ahead and sue the parties that affected them. It's been a mess. So let me tell you the full story, everybody. You want to hear this and more, like, subscribe, welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Today, Gemini filed a lawsuit against Digital Asset and Barry Silvet personally in New York court. New York court, everything happens there. Barry was not only the architect, but the mastermind of this fraud against creditors. He was directly and personally involved in perpetrating it. Those are big allegations, but remember, Cameron did say this, and we talked about it. I made my video, my confession video, right, late on that date, on July the 3rd. I saw it, and there's a lot of juice right here. I'll take a look at that one after this. There's a lot of different threads, so I'm going to go ahead and slow and steady. The complaint tells the whole story, but let's start here. When Gemini notified Genesis, it would be terminating the Earn program in October 2022. Barry reached out to set up a meeting to induce Gemini to continue the Earn. Why? He did this knowing Genesis was massively insolvent. Obviously, not a good leadership tactic right there. Barry claimed that Genesis faced only a timing issue, a lie that hit the gaping hole on Genesis balance sheet. And everything is recorded, right? Because it affects a lot of people. And obviously, Gemini can't do much. They're asking to the lender. When Three Arrows Capital collapsed mid 2022, it blew 1.2 billion hole in Genesis balance sheet. That comes to FTX as well. It's just a ripple effect, the domino effect of massive losses. Instead of coming clean, Genesis claimed that everything was business as usual because Digital Currency Group had stepped in to absorb the losses. It's now clear this was carefully crafted lie. Digital Currency Group didn't absorb any losses or provide real capital. Behind the scenes, the Digital Currency Group wrote Genesis sham 10-year promising note with a messy 1% interest rate, worth just a fraction of the 1.1 billion amount. Genesis was widely insolvent. So they're having a lot of problems, and Gemini, as one of their clients, is suffering, and us as the customers were suffering too. Barry and the group and Genesis all conspire to create false financial information, as you're seeing right here, to hide the truth about the Gemini and creditors, from Cameron and Tyler. One report pretended that this phony 10-year promising note was a current asset, a total lie and a complete misrepresentation. So obviously you see this, definitely you're going to take it at face value. A falsified balance sheet pretended to be the note, a receivable with a value 1.1 billion, another lie. Genesis loan duration figures just pretended the promissory note didn't exist because that was the only way to hide it. They literally didn't include it in the calculations. Yet another lie. So as you can tell, Cameron and Tyler, the CEOs, the founders of Gemini, they've been going through a lot, and I've been seeing it since November when they halted withdrawals from the Gemini Earn. So many people were waiting and desperately want to withdraw. I have just Ape, but some people have everything. This fraud goes to the very top, Barry Silvet. and another digital currency group executives were directly involved in these lies, and they lied again to cover the truth from Gemini and other creditors. So Gemini is only one client. Just imagine all the rest of the clients, right? It's a mess. This person, who I don't know who he is, let's see, president of, okay, there you go. So Bear Sulbet and this guy, the president, then and current president right now, was copied with Genesis, decimated in its fake financial reports. He knew that the reports were a lie and about the support for Genesis. Did he bother to correct them? No. He approved them. Mark Murphy directly lied that he told a creditor that the digital currency group had absorbed 3 hours capital losses. The whole promissory note scheme shows that Barry and the group were in on the fraud. Its design and execution requires full participation of everyone, right? Team, executives, and more, to hide the truth from the creditors. The currency group and Barry personally are direct in partnership, participants in the fraud that has damaged Gemini and hundreds of people, thousands of people. This complaint is a very important step in holding them accountable for what they have done. And there's more. You can find the full complaint there, and there you have it. It's now official. If you click here, it's now a full and complete complaint and lawsuit. Could be absolutely something that is going to shape how things are done here in the United States, because that's going to go to, that's my response, that's going to go, of course, to other courts above the law. So everybody, and this is what they said, like the end, the game over, final offer. And here's where they're putting 630 million and 232,000 earned users, right? So immediate payment of this to us, but they haven't said anything. They gave them like 3 days, nothing happened. So in closing, I've seen a lot of bad behavior from your colleagues over the last 9 months. So perhaps the most disturbing part is something that you said to me in the fall, that you were a victim of all of this, that special kind of person to owe $3.3 billion to hundreds of thousands of people, and believe, at least pretend to believe, that they are some kind of that you're some kind of victim. Not even Sam Beckman-Fried was capable of such behavior. The delusion. In the end, he at least recognized how his action had hurt others right away. I can confidently, say that I speak for all earned users like myself when I say it's time for you to do the right thing. Everybody, and the price of Bitcoin consolidated, couldn't care about this issue, right? Because there are other bigger issues for Bitcoin to worry, and this is not one of them. But I'm just showing you, fam, how critical is for us to know and hold people accountable. And I personally like, what they're doing against these fakers and against these people. Hopefully the truth can come out, and we can recover the money with this lawsuit. It should have been brought weeks ago, in my opinion, but they decided to wait because they're not dealing with, small money people. These are huge billionaires, and we'll see what comes at the end. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. You've been updated. Peace.